Islamic State caused catastrophic explosion of the I-85 bridge in Atlanta, Georgia. Details today that the true assassin of attorney Trin Lin, who was investigating this terror attack, has been captured, but that the patsy arrested for her murder has been rushed to hospital after sustaining mysterious jailhouse injuries. On the 31st of March, massive increase in signal intelligence, SIGINT, intercepts from both the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and at least 7 of the 16 intelligence agencies under the command of the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, DNI, that exactly coincided with reports emanating from Atlanta relating to the I-85 bridge being blown up, and that was witnessed by many people, including Georgian resident Bobby Barnhart, who said he was 60 yards away from this bridge when he heard several explosions and a slow rumbling before its collapse, and added it was a big sound. You could feel the vibrations. In their initial analysis, determined that the likely cause of the I-85 bridge explosion was a series of diesel fuel barrel bombs triggered by embedded PVC pipe bomb detonators that are popular with Islamic State terrorists operating in the Levant war zone, Syria, Iraq, region. The murder of this highly respected construction attorney was witnessed by many people, including Atlanta street sweeper Tony Booker, who told local police authorities she was crossing the road, and he draws out his gun and shoots her 3 times. She drops, and he takes off running, and whose military-bearing assassin was captured on video surveillance recordings running away from the crime scene. Important to note about the assassination of Trin Lin was that her assassin followed professional and accepted shooting protocols in her murder too, and that in the George Washington University authoritative report titled A Study of Assassination states, in all cases, the subject should be hit solidly at least 3 times for complete reliability. In about 13 hours following the assassination of Trin Lin, local Atlanta police authorities reported that they had arrested a man named Raylon Browning for her murder, and whom they state had outstanding arrest warrants against him for stabbing 2 people the day prior, was in possession of the clothes and weapon used in the assassination, and had been stopped for violating local traffic laws, but who is now in a hospital in what local news reports describe as, he got into a fight with a fellow inmate in the Fulton County Jail Tuesday night. Documents allege Browning started a fight with the inmate for no apparent reason. Detention officer tased Browning after he refused to stop punching the inmate. Of the many inaccurate police statements relating to Raylon Browning being put in a hospital for mysterious reasons, the most important to notice is that under current American jailing procedures and practices, inmates facing murder charges are always incarcerated in solitary confinement, protective custody, when first arrested for their, and other inmates, protection. Even more critical to note, a computer facial recognition analysis of Raylon Browning in comparison with that of the known assassin of Trin Lin, whose image was captured on numerous video surveillance cameras, showed no match being found, but did turn up an exact match when compared against a photo of a known American deep state operative named Nikolai Mork, who had just been arrested in Las Vegas, Nevada, after his return there from Atlanta. Nikolai Mork has long been known to the SVR since the late 1990s, when he traveled to the Federation as part of his studies while attending Pomona College in California, and where he graduated from as valedictorian with degrees in economics and Russian literature as a U.S. Presidential and National Merit Scholar. Following his graduation from Pomona College, Nikolai Mork received an MBA degree from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, Sloan School of Management, and gaining subsequent employment at Bain & Company, after which he was employed at the international giant packaging company Midwest-Vico, all occurring between 1999 to 2008. With his employment at both Bain & Company and Midwest-Vico, Nikolai Mork was afforded vast international travel opportunities for what the SVR says was his true/real employer, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. Though the full contents of the SVR's file on Nikolai Mork and his CIA and U.S. military training remains too highly classified for this general report, SVR analysts do state that immediately prior to the November 2016 election of President Donald Trump, Mork was working with the noted American Special Forces author and New York Times columnist Matthew Komatsu to write a biographical book about his life and adventures. Should Matthew Komatsu, however, write this book about Nikolai Mork, It will now have to include his arrest after returning from Atlanta to Las Vegas and his being indicted on terrorism and weapons of mass destruction charges after police found explosives strong enough to penetrate a military tank at his home, and whose other charges include his having 17 hard drives on a desktop computer which contained child pornography, snuff films, and images of him having sex with seemingly unconscious women. SVR analysts in this report explained that all American deep state operatives, like Nikolai Mork, who are targeted for elimination, have multiple unlurid sex crimes charges and allegations thrown against them in order to destroy their credibility should anyone listen to the truths they may offer in their defense, and that, also, includes enemies of the state the Americans fear, such as WikiLeaks leader Julian Assange. As to the fates of Nikolai Mork and the Patsy Raylon Browning, this report concludes, SVR analysts predict that both of them will be killed before the year is out under mysterious circumstances and exactly like occurred immediately after the American deep state false flag operations known as the Oklahoma City bombing and the 9/11 terror attacks too.